Percy Jackson and the Olympians. The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan is one of the most popular modern fantasy novels ever written. Published in 2005, the book combines Greek mythology with contemporary life, creating a fast-paced adventure filled with gods, monsters, quests, humor, and emotional growth. But beneath the action and fantasy lies a deeper story about identity, belonging, friendship, family, insecurity, courage, and learning to embrace what makes you different. The novel follows Percy Jackson, a 12-year-old boy who constantly struggles in school and feels like he never truly fits anywhere. Percy has dyslexia, attention difficulties, anger problems, and a history of getting expelled from schools. Adults often misunderstand him. Classmates view him as troublesome, and Percy himself feels confused about why his life seems unusually chaotic. This beginning immediately introduces one of the novel's central themes, feeling different and disconnected. Many readers connect emotionally with Percy before the fantasy elements even appear because he reflects a universal experience: the fear of not belonging, the feeling of being misunderstood, the struggle to understand one's identity. Everything changes when Percy discovers the truth. He is a demigod, the son of Poseidon, the Greek god of the sea. Greek mythology is not ancient history in this world. The gods still exist, hidden within modern civilization. Monsters still roam the world. Ancient conflicts continue beneath ordinary life. Percy's struggles suddenly gain new meaning. His dyslexia exists because his brain is naturally wired for ancient Greek. His hyperactivity reflects battle instincts needed by demigods. This transformation of weakness into hidden strength becomes one of the novel's most important lessons. Traits people see as flaws may actually contain unique abilities or potential. Another major theme is identity and self-acceptance. At first, Percy feels ashamed of his failures and confusion. But as he learns about his origins, he gradually begins accepting himself differently. The novel suggests that understanding identity can transform insecurity into confidence. Importantly, Percy's journey is not about becoming perfect. It is about recognizing value within imperfection. Another major theme is belonging. Percy arrives at Camp Half-Blood, a hidden training camp for demigods. For the first time in his life, he meets others like himself. This is emotionally significant because Percy no longer feels isolated. Camp Half-Blood represents more than a fantasy location. It symbolizes the human desire to find community among people who understand your struggles and differences. Many readers connect deeply with this idea. Another central theme is friendship. Percy's closest companions are Annabeth Chase and Grover Underwood. Annabeth is intelligent, ambitious, strategic, and determined. She is the daughter of Athena, goddess of wisdom. Grover is a satyr, loyal and compassionate, who serves as Percy's protector and friend. Together, the three form a classic quest group where each character contributes different strengths. Their friendship becomes essential for survival. This reflects one of the novel's strongest messages: people overcome challenges more effectively through trust, cooperation, and loyalty. Another important theme is family. Percy's relationship with his mother, Sally Jackson, forms the emotional heart of the story. Sally is loving, protective, and self-sacrificing. She endured hardship to keep Percy safe from monsters. Her unconditional love gives Percy emotional grounding throughout the novel. In contrast, many gods appear emotionally distant, selfish, irresponsible, or neglectful toward their children. This creates one of the novel's major critiques: power does not automatically create wisdom or emotional maturity. The Olympian gods behave like flawed humans amplified by immortality and ego. Riordan portrays mythology not as distant perfection, but as emotionally messy and psychologically complex. Another major theme is the relationship between parents and children. Many demigods struggle with feelings of abandonment because their divine parents rarely remain present in their lives. Percy himself feels conflicted about Poseidon. He wants recognition and connection, yet also feels anger about absence. This reflects real emotional experiences many readers understand. Wanting approval from parents, feeling disappointed by them, trying to define yourself beyond family expectations. Another major lesson concerns courage. Percy is not fearless. He often feels overwhelmed, uncertain, impulsive, and emotionally reactive. But courage in the novel means continuing forward despite fear. Again and again, Percy chooses to protect others even when danger feels enormous. This makes his heroism emotionally relatable. He succeeds not because he is flawless, but because he keeps trying. Another important theme is destiny versus choice. A prophecy predicts Percy may shape the future of Olympus itself. Throughout the story, characters constantly discuss fate, prophecy, and destiny. Yet Riordan repeatedly emphasizes that choices matter more than predictions. People still decide how to respond to circumstances. This idea becomes especially important later in the series, but it begins strongly in The Lightning Thief. Another major theme is trust. Percy enters a world filled with deception, hidden motives, and ancient rivalries. He learns quickly that appearances can mislead. Some monsters disguise themselves as ordinary people. Some allies hide secrets. Some authority figures manipulate others. Percy must gradually develop judgment and emotional intelligence rather than blindly trusting power. This becomes part of his maturation process. The novel also explores insecurity and self-worth. Annabeth, despite her intelligence, constantly struggles with pressure to prove herself. Grover feels insecure about his abilities and responsibilities. Percy doubts whether he deserves recognition or trust. These emotional struggles make the characters feel human despite the fantasy setting. Another central theme is modern reinterpretation of mythology. Riordan brilliantly places ancient Greek myths into modern American society. Mount Olympus exists above New York City. The entrance to the underworld lies beneath Los Angeles. Mythological creatures move through highways, casinos, museums, and cities. This blending of ancient and modern creates humor and accessibility while also reinforcing an important idea. Human nature remains fundamentally similar across time. The same emotions driving ancient myths still shape modern life. Jealousy,
Pride, fear, love,
ambition, loyalty. Another major theme is power and responsibility. Percy gradually discovers immense abilities connected to water and the sea. But Riordan consistently shows that power without wisdom becomes dangerous. Many gods create chaos precisely because they act impulsively, selfishly, or arrogantly. The novel suggests emotional maturity matters more than raw ability. Another important theme is loyalty under pressure. The quest to recover Zeus's stolen lightning bolt becomes increasingly dangerous. The trio faces monsters, betrayal, traps, and impossible odds. Yet their willingness to protect one another strengthens throughout the journey. Friendship becomes a form of resilience. Another major lesson concerns prejudice and labeling. Many adults label Percy as difficult, irresponsible, or problematic before understanding him. The novel challenges quick judgment. People often misunderstand those who think differently or struggle within traditional systems. Riordan's portrayal especially resonated with many young readers who experienced ADHD, dyslexia, or feelings of social alienation. The book reframes difference as potential rather than deficiency. Another important theme is temptation. During the journey, Percy and his friends encounter the Lotus Casino, a place where people become trapped through endless pleasure and distraction, losing track of time completely. This episode symbolizes how comfort and escapism can prevent growth and purpose. It reflects a timeless warning about distraction replacing meaningful action. Another major theme is leadership. Percy gradually becomes more capable of making decisions, protecting others, and taking responsibility. Yet his leadership differs from domination. He leads through loyalty, empathy, instinct, and courage rather than arrogance. This makes him fundamentally different from many gods. The novel also critiques ego and pride repeatedly. The gods' conflicts often emerge from wounded pride, jealousy, or desire for recognition. Immense power does not eliminate emotional immaturity. This creates both humor and philosophical depth. Another important lesson concerns belief in oneself. Percy begins the story convinced he is a failure. By the end, he understands his differences gave him strengths all along. Self-acceptance becomes transformative. This remains one of the book's most powerful messages for younger readers especially. Another timeless aspect of the novel is wonder. Riordan captures the excitement of discovering hidden worlds beneath ordinary reality. Adventure becomes symbolic of awakening to possibilities beyond everyday limitations. Yet the emotional core always remains grounded in relatable human struggles. How can someone apply the lessons of The Lightning Thief today? First, understand that differences can become strengths. Second, recognize the importance of friendship and loyalty. Third, avoid defining yourself solely through other people's judgments. Fourth, understand that courage means acting despite fear. Fifth, value emotional intelligence alongside ability. Sixth, recognize that power requires responsibility and self-control. Seventh, remember that identity develops through self-acceptance and choice. Another practical lesson is resilience. Percy constantly faces rejection, confusion, danger, and insecurity, yet continues growing through experience. Failure and uncertainty do not define future potential. The final summary of Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief, is this: identity, courage, friendship, and self-acceptance matter more than perfection or external approval. People often discover their greatest strengths hidden inside the qualities they once considered weaknesses. Power without maturity becomes dangerous. But loyalty, empathy, humor, and courage allow ordinary individuals to confront even extraordinary challenges. In the end, the novel reminds readers that belonging does not come from becoming someone else. It comes from understanding and accepting who you truly are while using your unique strengths to help others.